Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Pickett with the Pickett Real Estate Group, and I'm making a video today about what it's like to live in Pacifica and some pros and cons of living here. If you like the video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. And if you have any questions about moving to Pacifica, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Feel free to shoot me a message or give me a call, and we'll be sure to have your back if you're ready to make a move. So a lot of people, for the first time they come to Pacifica, the first experience that they have coming into Pacifica, they might be driving south on 280 from San Francisco, and they're heading out to the beach maybe for the day. And the first thing that they'll see oftentimes is the beautiful Pacific Ocean to the west, and you can't help but notice that the city of Pacifica is indeed surrounded by a ton of open space. So and that's one of the charms of living here, is that it's a sleepy town, and when you live out at the coast and you're so close to the ocean and you're surrounded by nature, it just has more of a laid-back vibe to it. And I think that's one of the major charms of living here. So if you look to the south of Pacifica, on the southern border, where Devil Slide Trail is and the tunnel, the southern part of Pacifica, you're at Montara Mountain. If you look to the east, you're over at Sweeney Ridge and Milagro Ridge, and there's a ton of open space over there. That's the Golden Gate National Recreation Area. There's not going to be a lot of development over there. It borders the town with open space and protected land. And then on the north side of Pacifica, you know, you have Muscle Rock and sort of the highways that lead you back to San Francisco. So at the west, you're going to see Maury Point, which is right here behind me. It's a beautiful point. It's open land here, and there's a beach back over to that side. If you can see behind me some of the marshes that are here. Back behind me is Sharp Park Golf Course, which is actually an Alistair McKenzie designed golf course. Alistair McKenzie also designed Augusta National, and he designed Cypress Point Golf Club in Monterey. So it's a very esteemed golf course designer over here. And it's a cheap golf course to play. It's owned by the city of San Francisco. So it's a super fun place to come out and go. A lot of people know the golf course that's here. Now, in some of those same spots where the open space is in Pacifica, you'll notice that you have access to pretty extensive hiking and mountain biking trail systems. In Montara Mountain in particular, and in San Pedro Valley Park, which is just next to Montara Mountain, kind of at the base of it, there's hiking trails everywhere. And some of the hiking trails are flat and kind of novice trails, easier trails to navigate through. And then there's kind of advanced hiking and mountain biking trails as well. So if you want to get up and elevate pretty quickly on some of these hiking trails and get up and see the ocean pretty fast, it's really easy to do. There's also going to be a lot of hiking and mountain biking trails over at Milagro Ridge on the eastern part of town, but there's not a lot of parking over there. But the trails are pretty impressive. You can kind of see Milagro Ridge behind me here on the southern part of it, but it's a beautiful place to go. Also in Pacifica, if you're into fishing, there's a big fishing community here. You can catch striper right offshore, right off the beach, certain times a year. You can, if you use just a crab snare, you can catch Dungeness crab right off the shore in Pacifica as well. Offshore, people regularly catch salmon and lingcod. So there's a lot of fishing opportunities here. If you want to go out in the ocean, of course, we're in California. There's surfing opportunities that are here. If you like to stand up paddleboard or kayak, there's great surfing for beginner and intermediate waves at Lindemar Beach. You can definitely go there. There's a lot of options. If surfing is something that you want to do on a regular basis, you can do it here. Lindemar does tend to be more of a beginner and intermediate wave spot, but if you're interested in more expert or advanced surfing, you can definitely go up to Ocean Beach in San Francisco, or you can go down to Santa Cruz for some heavier waves. And so there's a lot of outdoor activities to do. That's probably the biggest charm. I think that's what brings people to Pacifica the most, is because they want to spend the day outside, they want to go to the beach, get some sun, hear the ocean, and this is the place to do it. Now, if you haven't spent much time in Pacifica, or if you're coming down here for the first time, you might find that one drawback of coming down here or living here, and something that might be a surprise to you, is that we don't really have a centralized downtown or a centralized shopping and dining district in Pacifica. And that's something that they're working on. The city of Pacifica does have a general plan that's been enacted, and they're trying to execute it by the year 2040, where they're trying to stimulate some economic activity and put a shopping and dining district in the Sharp Park area, and probably another one, or redevelop the one that's already in Rockaway Beach. But people are oftentimes surprised that if they come to Pacifica, there's not a ton of like dining options or shopping options. There are great restaurants in Pacifica, and there is oceanfront dining available at Puerto 27. You can go to Nick's, which is very popular, a very well-known place. Moonraker in Rockaway Beach also has some oceanfront dining, and they've got a great happy hour over there. So there are great restaurants here, but there's not a centralized downtown, and I think some people are surprised by that when they come here. Another drawback of living in Pacifica, I think, when you come here, if you're looking for housing in particular, is that we don't have a lot of variety of housing stock in Pacifica. On the northern part of Pacifica, you're going to see that there's mostly Dolger style homes in the Fairmont area, which are like the row style houses that you'll see in the Sunset District. They look a little bit boxy, but they do have very functional floor plans with large garages and full, technically full basements underneath with living areas up above. And then in Lindemar, southern Pacifica, you get the Lindemar Ranchers, which is just the one level, 3-bedroom, 1-bath houses with 2-car garages. And then there's the Oddstad homes back in Sun Valley and in Park Pacifica, which are great homes. But if you're looking for like a custom ocean view house or like a modern style home, it can be difficult to find here. There's not going to be a lot of options like that. If you look in the Valimar or Pedro Point neighborhoods, you might find more custom style homes, but there's not a lot of housing stock that comes up for sale that's like that. So if you're specifically looking for a home like that, it can be a little bit difficult to find. Also, as I was talking about before, how we're kind of surrounded by nature, there is going to be some challenges with continuing to develop the housing stock in Pacifica and providing more affordable housing and just more housing in general. The population in Pacifica has stayed right around, just under 40,000, and it's been like that for a while because there's not really room for sprawl here. We're surrounded by open land. We are very close to San Francisco. We're very close to the peninsula. So if you're looking for more shopping and dining options, and you want to go to San Francisco, or you want to go over to the peninsula or down to Half Moon Bay, Pillar Point Harbor, Main Street, downtown Burlingame, downtown Redwood City, San Carlos, we're very, very close to all that. It's just right over the hill here, and you can definitely get to San Francisco really quick. Pacifica does have a great little family town vibe here. It's a small town, and it's a quiet town. It's a great little suburban coastal hamlet that you can live, and your kids can go to schools, have their friends nearby, and there's so much for the kids to do here. In the summertime, the kids love the skate camp. There's a beautiful skate park behind the community center on Crespi, right there by the beach. It's a very well-designed skate park. If you live in Pacifica, if you move here, if you spend any time in Pacifica, you're going to end up there at some point. The surf camps are really popular for the kids. Baseball, there's year-round baseball options. Baseball's huge in Pacifica for the programs. There's fields all over at East Fairway Park. The kids play baseball back at Ortega School, and you can play in the spring, and there's even travel leagues all summer. Same thing with soccer. There's a Pacific United League that plays through the spring, and then of course there's the AYSO programs that go in the fall. There's the CYO basketball leagues if you want to play that. There's a lot of elementary schools in Pacifica, K-5 schools, and then there's some K-8s as well. We also have a middle school here at IBL Middle School, and then 2 high schools. So there's a lot for the kids to do. Frontierland Park is up back in the Park Pacifica neighborhood, which is extremely popular. It's kind of a big field, and then it has like an old wooden play structure that's there for the kids, and it's a very, very popular place to go with some barbecue pits and things like that. So a ton of things to do, and of course we're so close to San Francisco that if you want big city amenities, that's all there too. So I'm walking now. I'm still on the Maury Point Trail, but I'm walking out towards Pacifica Pier. So I've got the ocean here to my west, Maury Point's behind me, and Sharp Park Golf Course over here to my right. And I had talked a little bit about how we don't have a centralized downtown, and that's kind of a drawback of the neighborhood of the town here. But we do have some great little quaint places to go. Mazzetti's Bakery comes to mind right away if you're looking for a sweet, some cupcakes or some cakes. It's been here for a long time. It's a very well-known bakery. It's a great place to go. I'm a huge fan of Rosalind Bakery over in the Manor District. If you want to get fresh baked bread, they'll have it ready for you in the evening or in the morning if you want. It's a great place to go and get a coffee. Fog City Java's got a very good community little vibe to it. You see a lot of the same people over there on a daily basis. Soul Grind Coffee is kind of a new coffee shop over in Pedro Point, and that's a great place to go if you want to get a cappuccino or something like that. They roast their own coffee beans there. You can sit outside and eat. The biggest thing with Pacifica is just getting outside. You can see it's about 8:30 in the morning here on a spring day, and this hiking trail is really packed right now. I'm looking down on the beach and the waves are breaking, and there's people down on the beach, there's people out playing golf, there's people up on Maury Point. So it's really just the lifestyle in Pacifica that's so alluring. It's one of the main reasons people want to come down here during the day, and ultimately it's one of the reasons that people want to live here as well. It's the lifestyle. And so I talked a little bit about the Pacifica's path of progress and how things have been a little bit slow, but there's a Pacifica general plan that's in place right now that is really trying to spur economic activity. After COVID, the city lost a lot of revenue from sales tax and things like that, and they're really trying now to rebuild the city, and they're gonna try and rebuild a lot of the infrastructure that's here. I'm walking up to the Pacifica Pier, and they're gonna be doing a seawall resiliency project that's already in the works up here. So they're gonna try and rebuild the seawall that's there. All of California is dealing with coastal erosion. It's gonna be a challenge forever, and it's something the city's working on here. Sharp Park on, Palmetto from Clarendon to the south, basically to IBL to the north, that's where they want to make kind of a shopping and dining district here in Pacifica. And I think that's where we're going to see it happen there, and in Rockaway Beach. So the city is working to create a downtown area, to rebuild some of its infrastructure that's here, and also to preserve a lot of the open space and the habitats that are here. Pacifica does have a plan for growth. I think it's necessary, and they're going to try to get more housing here. I think that the plan that they have, which is to add 2,000 housing units, it's pretty ambitious. It's going to be tough to do it. So I think that Pacifica is in good hands, and they are working to create more of a shopping and dining district. They're trying to add more housing here. It's a beautiful place to live, and it's a beautiful lifestyle that people absolutely love, and people come here and they end up staying here for a really long time. I hope you found the video helpful today, and if you have any questions about moving here, I'd love to chat with you. I'll definitely have your back if you want to make a move down here. If you have questions about renting or owning a property or any of the neighborhoods in particular, don't hesitate to reach out. Love to chat with you, okay? Take care.